Forgiveness is something that comes through presence. You cannot be thinking about thoughts and be present with your feelings at the same time. It's just not going to happen. You have to be fully present in your body and with those feelings, breathing them in if you really want to truly forgive them and love them. And it might take more than one time also. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't give up. It's really ugly. It's gonna feel like disturbing, and that's just part of it. If it doesn't feel disturbing, you're probably doing it wrong, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now. You should feel deeply disturbed by your feelings if you're doing this right. And some of us have more traumas than others, okay? Some of us have different types of traumas than others, but if you're truly touching a feeling that has never been felt and forgiven before for years, and it's a feeling that has just been stagnant in your body, it's not gonna feel comfortable to touch it. It's gonna feel like a wound being touched, and that doesn't feel good. But you need to touch it. You need to look at it fully. It deserves your love. No more of this self-abandonment. No more of this self-abuse. It is time for you to shine, to be your true self, to let go of your past. It is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It is right now. If you're watching this video, stop watching it then. Just stop watching it and stop whatever you're doing. Sit with yourself. Breathe in who you truly are. Whatever the feeling is, it might take a long time to uproot it and fully feel it. And I want you to know it's a disgusting, disturbing process, but you can do it. I believe in you because I did it. And it's not a fun time, but it is so worth it if you want to be free. The only way to true freedom is through forgiveness. And so you must forgive first all parts of yourself, and then you will naturally be able to forgive everybody else. Trust me, don't focus on the other people yet. That will come naturally. You're going to be non-judgmental after you do this the right way, if you truly are present with it. You can't do it in a way that you're like, yeah, okay, I'm mentally going to forgive them and it's done. No, you and I both know that that's a lie. You're going to have to truly feel it. You're going to have to dig deep and uproot it and face it in its ugliest state. Feel it fully with your heart, not with analyzing it with your mind. You're going to have to feel it and connect it to your heart. First, you're not even going to be able to get to that level. You're going to have to look at it with fascination and interest and non-judgmentalness. And then you're going to have to look at it with awareness and respect and realize that it has a place to be here, that it is just where it needs to be and there's nothing wrong with it. Eventually you're going to be able to forgive it and love it, but you can't just jump from A to Z. You're going to have to fully feel it. You can say it all you want. You can listen to this video and other videos on forgiveness all you want, but it's not going to be helpful. You're going to have to stop this video and sit and feel it. I know you can do this. It's hard, it's disturbing, but you can do this. The more you breathe it in, the more you focus on it. The first few times especially are going to be very hard, but trust me, you are capable of doing this. And eventually it's going to come naturally for you to do this. Once these feelings arise, you're going to be able to face them fully, breathe them in, and release them. And it's not going to be such a process of you facing these stagnant feelings that have been inside of you for years. But maybe you're at the stage right now of that's where you're at, and that's okay. They just need to be looked at and felt. They're calling to you. No more abandonment, no more self-abandonment. Let's stop this. You deserve better. You deserve your love. You deserve your own love. You can do this. I believe in you. I know you can. Like I said, I did it. And it does get easier. It's really hard at first. And I want you to look at your life and consider, where am I harming myself? Truly, like, be honest with yourself. And unless your life is absolutely perfect, like you're never late, you're eating perfectly healthy like 90% of the time, you have beautiful relationships with every person in your life, you are living your dream life, everything is ideal. Unless that's the case, I guarantee you parts of yourself need to be forgiven. So look at the parts of your life that you're unhappy with and realize that they're okay. They have a place to be here. They're trying to talk to you and tell you something. They're manifestations of these feelings that haven't been felt. Please, if you're in a hard spot right now, if you're abusing yourself in any way, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay what you've done. You're a human. You're so young. I don't care what age you are, even if you're 80 years old listening to this. You're so young. You're just a baby learning to walk. Be gentle with yourself. And not even be gentle with yourself, but just feel yourself. Be with yourself. Be there. Stop ignoring yourself. By abusing yourself, you can see that you're chasing something, trying to cover up these feelings. By numbing yourself in some way or distracting yourself in some way from these feelings that just need to be felt. So I'm here to tell you, stop distracting yourself. Face them head on. Get a little disturbed. Get a little bit scared. Feel them fully. If you don't know what it's going to feel like, it depends on the type of trauma you're looking at and how deep it runs, how many years you haven't looked at it, but I'll give an example of what it should feel like. Some of them will feel very sharp. Some of them might bring out laughter. Some of them might bring out tears, screaming. You might need to move your body, but whatever you do, just sitting still, breathing them in fully, whatever you choose, whatever feels right in that moment for that feeling. I'm gonna just compare it to stretching your body. And if you have a muscle in your leg that has never been stretched or hasn't been in years, when you first start stretching it, it's gonna feel painful and uncomfortable. And just breathe in that pain. Sit with it. Don't try to force it and do the splits all at once. Just sit with it, and you're going to notice it's going to loosen a little bit more and more. And that loosening, eventually it'll be able to trust you again and let go fully. Your body will trust and realize, okay, I can let go and I can relax this muscle. It'll loosen. But it's not going to happen all at once, right? And it's the same thing with forgiving yourself. It's going to have to learn to trust you again. You've abandoned it for so many years. You need to develop this relationship with your body and your feelings again. You're going to have to learn to trust yourself again. So it's going to take some time, and slowly, bit by bit, it will relax more and more. And eventually it's dissipated. It's become relaxed and it's transmuted into peace. You do not need to continue harming yourself to earn forgiveness. Self-harm comes in many different ways. It could look like you being mean to yourself with your thoughts. It could look like abusing your body with drugs and alcohol. It could look like a poor relationship with food. Physical harm to yourself, whatever the case is. Let me be the one to tell you that that is an endless cycle. The only way to break the cycle and move forward, to let go of the past and be truly forgiven, is to feel your feelings fully. Look at them with forgiveness and love. And you can't just do that all at once. It's going to take time. It's going to take you sitting and breathing for hours, floating in your body, sitting and breathing until you're in a state of floating and you can fully feel each individual feeling that arises. Look at your relationship with everything, because the way you do one thing is the way that everything is done. So really take a look at the little parts of your life and the big parts and consider, where am I not having a loving relationship? Because everything is a mirror to you. The way to stop the abuse and stop the cycle is through forgiveness. It can never be done through hating those parts of yourself or hating doing what you've done. Maybe you have been a bully in school. Eventually, when you're 30, 40, 50 years old, you're going to need to let the past go and recognize that you have the freedom to be whoever you want to be, and you can help now. You don't have to keep hurting yourself to help people. That's actually going to be unhelpful. You're not going to help the world in any way. The only way to actually help the world and help yourself is to stop hurting yourself. This cycle has to end. If you keep hurting yourself, you think that feeling guilt and shame, oh, I shouldn't have done that, oh, this, that, mean thoughts to yourself, stop whatever you're doing as soon as anxiety or resistance arises in your life, especially when you're at home. You can practice this, and the more you do it, then eventually you're going to get to this place where you can do it as you're doing things. But for now, if you can't do it while you're doing things, what you're going to want to do is stop what you're doing and then just sit down and breathe until you fully feel that feeling that has risen up. Once it's fully felt, then you can let go and continue doing whatever it is that you were doing. But I highly suggest that you don't just ignore it, because that is abusive. That's abandonment. Another thing is, if you don't know how to feel your feelings, you can start by every morning and or every evening sitting until you get to this flow state, sitting so completely still until you feel like you're floating. And then once you're in that floating state, it might take 10 minutes for some people, it might take over an hour for others, and you're going to have to keep bringing yourself back from your thoughts that are rising up. Then you're eventually going to have some feelings come up. Allow the triggers to be felt. That is the perfect time to fully feel them, because when you're in that floating state and they arise, you're going to be able to look at them and shine light on them, and you're just going to look at them with some curiosity and no judgment, just curiosity. Try to understand them, breathe them in, and eventually, after respecting them and trying to understand them, allowing them to have a place in your body, you're going to be able to forgive them and love them. And that's where that self-forgiveness comes in. So when you look at your life and you look at the things you do or have done that maybe are cringy or maybe are just mean or mean to yourself or others, that's okay. Let those feelings arise and look at them. Forgive them. Forgive those parts of yourself, because you're never going to be able to move on and do whatever it is that you want to do, that your soul wants to do, that you were made to do for this earth, until you forgive yourself. Forgiveness is truly the first step. I know you hear it all the time, but I don't think everybody understands it, or they hear it, but they don't know what it truly means to forgive themselves, to let go fully. Because once you fully let go, then you're going to be able to be free. You're going to be able to just flow with life. But first, you're going to have to forgive. Well, that's it for today's video. I truly hope that this was helpful and that you can use me to feel inspired to do the same thing that I did. Forgive yourself. I'm going to be making more videos, so please subscribe